Okay, hello, welcome to the first week of August, and we're going to talk about the weather. And unfortunately, you see the story here. This is a satellite loop from this morning. I actually saved it to show you all the smoke that we were already kind of seeing even in the morning. You could see maybe some thinner smoke over us, but all in all, the smoke's pretty much all over the whole Northeast, and it's a lot worse to the north, and we're going to be getting into that a little bit later this week. So we're definitely going to be dealing with that. Unfortunately, it was hazy today, and this is what it looked like in the pines. No deep blue sky, just a lot of haze. You could see the haze in the air, just very milked up sky, not really a nice blue sky at all. Once again, robbed of a blue sky because of these wildfires. It did make for a nice sunset, though. This is what the sunset looked like. Orange and then very red as we got later on. You can see how the sunset kind of got. And it's going to be a lot thicker tomorrow when we look at this sunset. Look at that. That's real thick right there. You can see that sun just real red and just really red. So just dealing with that smoke. It was very comfortable today, a little warmer today, but other than that, 70 at Islip, dew point's 59. Of course, the alley's like 74, so it's a little bit warmer than that in the alley. 73 at LaGuardia, 72. So generally speaking, West Hampton got a 61 after hitting 82. Of course, that's cooling off nicely. Even some 50s in the Hamptons. City holding on to the heat, 73 at Central Park, so it's like my alley. And if you're in the Pine Barrens west of Tums River, it's down to 61. They got up to 82 today, and the low got down to 52. So if you're in the Pine Barrens, it was really nice and cool. Let's look at West Hampton. West Hampton got down to 48. So, yeah, a lot better. Looking at our highs today, here you go. Pretty much low to mid 80s, very comfortable day across the area. Even in Jersey, temperatures because of that northeast flow, low 80s, east flow, and then we had a southeast flow later on. 48, there's your low. 48 at West Hampton. 61 at Islip. If you're in the city, obviously that low's a lot warmer. 66 at LaGuardia, which is around what my alley probably got to. 60, I don't even think my alley went below 70. 64 at Central Park, and that low of 52 in the Pine Barrens west of Toms River. We'll look at what the day was like at Islip. Right now it's 70. And you will see here that, there's your temperatures, low 80s. Very nice, very comfortable humidity levels. Very comfortable. The only problem was the air quality. We did have a little bit of smoke around. There was some at the surface. I don't know. I felt like I was getting winded walking around out there like I shouldn't be. When you look at the AQI, it's fairly obvious, which we're going to check in a moment here. Let's go to our climatological statistics for Islip today. High of 83, which is right at the normal mark. The low of 60 was 7 degrees below normal, putting us 3 degrees below normal for the average. We'll be getting warmer than that as we head on to the rest of this month, as we get into the rest of this month here. AQI, all right, it's back to green again. So let's see. We'll use I did post one earlier that had some decreased. It seemed like I was feeling a little bit better tonight. That probably explains the air quality improved a little bit, but you suddenly see what's a lot worse just off to the north, where that near-surface smoke is. And that's what we're going to be dealing with, unfortunately. You already have an air quality alert in effect for the city. You can see they put haze in the forecast for tomorrow. So we're going to be having that haze from the wildfire smoke. And the air quality alert that I don't know why it's not covering Long Island, but I think it probably will be affecting the whole area. Decreased air quality for much of the area for tomorrow as we start dealing with some of that thicker wildfire smoke that's just off to the north. We'll look at the current satellite now, and you'll see here. We'll do an 84 frame. You can see we had some cirrus skirt by to the south, but you can see again all that smoke. Very clearly visible here, and especially as you get toward the evening, you can see the thickest smoke off to the north, but everyone's being affected by this in the northeast. And again, this smoke is coming from wildfires that are way up in Canada. We'll go to the CONUS view. You can see the smoke pretty much covering the whole north and the east here. Now we have some tropical things we're going to have to watch offshore. It almost looks like a tropical storm already. Look at that. So things are starting to heat up in the Atlantic. This is going to stay away, but of course you see fires out west too. So there's smoke over there too. You can see some fires burning over there as well in this satellite loop here. Go to the southwest there. And yes, there was an earthquake. I didn't feel it last night, so I'm not going to talk about it. It was mainly affected New Jersey. It was a small earthquake, but just take a look and show you the smoke out here. See the fires here? Yeah, there they are. You can see them on the periphery right there. So you have some in Utah and Arizona. If we go to the Canada, northern U.S. view, yeah, there's a lot of smoke up there. Take a look at that. Yeah, that's really the story right there. Is look at all that smoke. You can see there is clean air off to the north, but you can see really thick smoke here, and this is all coming from wildfires. Here's the wildfires in Manitoba right now, so you can see there's a lot of wildfires burning in Manitoba, and we have Saskatchewan, some really thick smoke up there as well going on, so really thick. Go to the MODIS view. Let's see if we can get a closer look at this. Yeah, take a look at all that smoke. Wow, it's like a river of smoke. Look at that. So it's really, that's a real river of smoke there. Look at that. You can see all the fires going. It's really a very bad situation for sure. And it's going to continue. You can see all that smoke. So very thick too. So we're not in the worst of it. We're just dealing with the periphery of it. Yeah, quite interesting to say the least. We got all the current weather out of the way and the smoke, and we'll come back to that a little bit later. Let's talk about the tropics here before I even go to this. We do have Tropical Storm Dexter, so I guess this is the one we're looking at right here. Is this Dexter? Yep, there it is. So that's Tropical Storm Dexter. It's going to stay out to sea for the most part. See, some models give it some crazy tracks, but you can see, though, there is a lot of spread here on the GFS ensembles. That's the GFS ensembles. Let's, I don't know if they have they don't have the spaghetti model run. They just have that one. But you can see that's the GEPS ensembles. That is the GEFS ensembles. Some of them are kind of all over the place. So Tropical Storm Dexter. Yeah, let's go to the National Hurricane Center, which I guess they just... Why is this not showing as a tropical storm? They haven't updated it. Awesome. Just awesome. So I don't know what's going on, but this is Tropical Storm Dexter. That is what we have right now. Maximum winds 35 knots. And we'll go to the satellite as well. Storms, active storms. Let's see. We don't even have them. Wow, they're really not updating things. So this is a sign of what we're going to be dealing with thanks to what's going on in our government right now. So you can see Dexter is off here and really looking really healthy, I might add. Let's see if I can get a different type of satellite loop here. See, I like we'll do the true color one. Yeah, here you go. So you got to look at that thing. Look at that. That's really, really impressive. So yeah, Dexter really going. You can see it's along that stall front, but it's still really, really impressive for sure. I wish we could have a longer loop. I don't know how to use this particular site. But we'll go and look at it on here. I think we can go to the Caribbean. Yeah, you can sort of catch it on the north part of it, so I'll just show you the visible. Or not. I mean, it's not really a threat to anyone, so you know what? I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Let's just forget about that, all right? It's not a threat to anyone, but we're going to have to keep an eye on this. So these are the areas that are going to have to be watched. This area, it's got an 80% invest one. This is now Dexter. They haven't updated the site yet for it. And then we have the others. So we have all these disturbances here. We have 2. This is one that could be coming off Cape Verde. And then 3. This small area right here. So let's talk about it, we'll look at the models here and go into the pattern that we're going to start off August with, obviously, which is definitely very different than what we started off July with. And I'm glad at least we're not dealing with the heat. So let's go to the jet stream briefly. And you can see the little trough brought us some cool air, but again, we have kind of a messy looking jet stream as we head into August. And unfortunately, I do see some ridging. And that is something that we're going to have to, again, keep. That is going to help any tropical development that we're going to see here. You can see that little trough that lifts out. We get a little bit of ridging, so we do some moderation. See some big ridging in Canada there, and then we have the Atlantic ridge. So that's going to tend to favor heat above normal temperatures. If we look at the temperature anomaly chart, which I'll keep on the large scale for now. You see Canada continues to deal with being above normal, but you'll notice that red starts getting into our area. So if I'll take this down to the CONUS level, you'll see here that red starts getting into our area. So it looks like we will be dealing with more heat again, unfortunately, after this nice little break that we are having. Surface, there's, I believe that's Dexter. This is the other low that we're going to have to watch. But that high pressure kind of stays in control, keeps all that activity to the south. It does try to bring in some slight chances of precipitation Thursday. But more and more, that high just kind of stays stuck there with no jet stream in place, and there is a low off the southeast. So, and then as we get into later in the month, you start seeing that southeast ridge develop. But not a whole lot of rain here. It looks like kind of a dry pattern. And that kind of backs up what we look at when we're looking at the climate statistics, which we'll go over from the CPC in a moment. So now that we have all that sorted out, let's take a look at this week ahead here. And yeah, I know I'm just using the European. I'm not using the GFS because the GFS has been not the best, as you know. And the GFS has a similar look to it, generally speaking. Though the GFS does have a tropical system there impacting Florida. But this is this is that Cape Verde storm. So we're going to have to watch that Cape Verde storm. And when it gets a name, I'll make an update for it on that. But these other storms out here, I don't think are going to be threatening us. So let's go to the HRRR 0Z run. And obviously, we're dry. We're not going to see any precipitation at all. There is, like I said, a little bit of a weak low that's meandering out there, but I think that's where it's going to stay. The only thing, it might cause some rough surf, perhaps. Looking at the dew points and wind flow, we're staying dry tomorrow. The dew points stay fairly comfortable in the 50s. Of course, they'll increase a little bit toward the evening when there's a sea breeze, so we start with a northeast or maybe a north to northwest wind, light winds, and then they become southerly later on in the day. And then for Tuesday, we have that easterly flow again, so it should still stay comfortable, though it will start getting warmer, obviously, as we see more of that rain. The warmth is going to be mainly inland. So one more cool night, and then we're going to see. In fact, I did want to just go over West Hampton just to see what it got down to the night before last, because I know we didn't do that weather video for the second. So let's see what it got down to on the second here in the morning. Not quite as low. Got down to around 50. It's pretty cool. So similar temperatures, but I think the apex of the cool night will last. But it'll still cool down tonight, probably if you're in the Pine Barrens. But if you're inland tomorrow, temperatures will get up more into the low to mid 80s, maybe a little closer to 90 if you're in New Jersey. Cooler at the coast tomorrow night. The temperatures don't drop as much, mid 60s, and then for Tuesday, it tends to be a little cooler because we might see a little more cloud cover. And then similar setup for as far as temperatures go. Similar setup as Monday, probably. And going beyond that, go to the European for that. We'll go ahead and look at our temperatures and dew points. And you'll start seeing the humidity start increasing a little bit Wednesday. But we're still staying in that easterly flow, which means it won't get too hot. Thursday, same deal, easterly flow. So we're kind of stuck in this onshore flow, which will keep the temperatures cool. And according to the European, low dew points. So we're not really going to be dealing with too much humidity this week. And without that, we're probably not going to see much in the way of precipitation either. So it will tend to keep things dry. So a whole week without precipitation after quite a wet situation we had for. So here's the Euro heating things up a little more on Tuesday. It backs off a little bit on Wednesday, perhaps because there might be some more clouds. We'll have to watch and see if we get any clouds. Thursday would be the chance that the Euro was saying there might be a shower or two, but nothing really substantial. And then Friday, we kind of, and then the weekend looks like things, the temperatures start to increase again. That's the 18th Euro. If I want to go beyond that, we see as we head towards Sunday, the temperatures start to increase. And as we get into that next week, that's when we'll start to see that heat come back. And probably with some of the humidity too, probably as well. Yeah. So we will see that later on as we get toward the middle of the month. We'll talk about that next Sunday. So let's go to the skies next. Obviously, this is just cloud cover that we're going to be looking at here. So yeah, brushed by some high clouds tonight. Otherwise, tomorrow probably not too many clouds. There might be a few high clouds around, but the more significant issue will be the smoke, and then more in the way of those high clouds on Tuesday, and then Wednesday as well. And then that's as far as we got on the RGEM. The other model, we could use GFS. And you'll see here, Thursday it actually tries to push those clouds a little bit to the south. A little bit. And then Friday, it actually, GFS tries to have another mostly sunny day again. So we'll have to see what happens. Of course, the wild card, of course, being all that wildfire smoke. Let's go to that. Well, actually, let's do the Climate Prediction Center real brief. So you can see those above normal temperatures in the longer range, below normal precipitation in the northeast, near normal, higher amounts in the middle of the country, and above normal the 8 to 14 day temperatures too. So unfortunately, the heat will be back. So lastly, let's go and look at those smoke models. And we'll go to the HRRR, 18Z HRRR. So we'll first start with the vertically integrated smoke, which shows the smoke at all levels. And you can see it definitely gets worse tomorrow. We go into the yellows and maybe even some reds as we get into Tuesday. It's still going to be with us. So plenty of smoke to deal with, and there will be some near-surface smoke as well. So this is going to impact visibility. It's going to impact air quality. Let's go to the near-surface smoke because we're going to have some of that too. You can see it off to the north there. It will be worse to the north, but you definitely see it coming into our area tomorrow. So expect the skies to be quite hazy tomorrow, worse than today for sure. So that is all I got for you. And again, the next weather video will probably be maybe later this week or not until next week, unless something notable happens. So just generally speaking, fair weather this week. It'll be really a great week. The only problem is all this wildfire smoke. That's the main thing with this air quality that we're going to be dealing with because of all those fires in Canada that continue to burn out of control. And I'm telling you, we're going to keep dealing with this every time we have a flow coming out of Canada. You can see and look at the smoke model. There's clean air in eastern Canada, but just like this air mass came from central, we're not really getting that push from eastern Canada. So unless we can get that push from eastern Canada, we're going to continue to deal with the smoke or until we get back into the tropical air. That'll push the smoke away too. That's it. Have a good week. Thanks for watching.